anywhere right now?
We went to visit the Burts, and we came back and we stopped at New Elysium, and Pippa was having a problem because everyone was so polite and nice. Yeah. And she fainted 4 times and eventually was just like, Everett, let's go home. I can't do this anymore.
Right.
And then,
there was a scandalous display because Everett had to carry her out of the room 4 times.
Well, the first scandalous display, instead of removing me, he just sat there and kissed me for however long it took me to wake up. It's like, please. People are watching.
While you guys are
we're about
talking, I'm going to go ahead and
the next day, which is on the fancy boat.
Yeah, and that new place for Elysium is nice. At least a couple people spent a lot of time trying to avoid looking at the bar because apparently it's
too nice
for them.
I have a banana.
Yes, I gifted you a banana.
We had a fan off when she fainted. I was like, oh, look at this shit.
Is there a banana?
Because I wanted to buy her something that was stupid. So I gifted her a banana. Because she can't do anything with it.
Okay.
Be like, here, you can eat
it. Thank you, Ms. Allen. I am a...
Oh, so great.
Ship. So we're going to the ship boat. All the people.
Voting day is
we're going to the Vampire Court meet and greet.
Oh right, it was a court.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh wait, who am I? Fuck. I don't know how to do this anymore.
Oh yeah, who are you? Fuck.
Her starchy.
Sure.
Let me find it.
Yeah.
More stiff.
I feel like this cascades.
Tight as bun.
It's you and Tony, then me.
That bun though.
Yeah, super tight bun, super stiff.
I didn't
collar.
change that time.
Yeah. Talk Victorian too.
I guess I think I'm actually rolling again because didn't we end the day?
Yeah, I think we were gonna end that night.
Yeah.
I was Frankie at the time.
Yeah, because it was an eventful night.
But then there was all this stuff happened. And then I have a thing at the end of my notes for that day that says we actually did a 2-day skip at some point. Where there was hunting and visiting.
Oh yeah, because I think the meet and greet was in a couple nights, so we took care of some personal business.
Yeah.
Because instead of time skipping, guys checked out the New Elysium. Everett sent Elijah out to buy some cattle.
Yes.
A couple. Okay.
Yeah, as I wrote it, they decide to buy them livestock of the bovine varieties.
So, Pip, he has owned and sold chattel.
Terrible.
All right, well,
Terrible.
I ruled the thing then.
I started dropping some serious cattle rancher knowledge on a different D&D group.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They were like, Cowboy Church, I want to go to that. I'm like, no, you don't. Actually.
Okay.
Like, what you think you want, what you actually want is a honky tonk.
So, I'm Tasha this time.
We're Tasha?
Oh man, am I Tasha for the frickin' court thing again? Oh,
yeah.
Oh well.
Because
you're just Tasha at court.
Tasha, not Stella. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and it's...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what she's...
On a good night.
Yeah.
Jaren turned into an old guy.
He's been an old guy.
And then it happened again.
Aww,
Ah,
it's too
Oh, yeah.
tall.
yeah.
I had to edit
Lisa's-
mine. I had to edit mine so that I had to crop out a copy of it so that I had the face and everything on it.
What is this scandalous portrait?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, look at
Everybody
everything
look at
crotch
their
there.
torsos.
Only crotches and midriffs.
Oh my!
Terrible.
That's the bedroom portrait.
Do we have to dress nice for this?
I mean,
Also, are you gonna make Tasha dress nice for this?
that was going to be my next thing. It's like technically yes, but is it going to be worth the effort? That's jury's still out. Why is this out?
I'll need it though.
So the next night, you all awaken once more to this eternal torment.
It's not working.
And, as a result of your continued existence, lose a blood point and gain a willpower. Ready, we. The news flutters through the hotel quite swiftly that the two ladies shared a room very close. Checked out at first dark, finding that we're gonna go find that no good sumbitch and tell him what.
That sounds about right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Such language.
Yep.
So they're just gone.
Also something about easier to take those suckers while the money form in their.
Makes sense.
Well, I do wish her all the luck on her venture.
Right, New Helvetia.
Well, at least he didn't disappear into the ground.
Yeah, well, they're not all gonna go like that.
Also, Tasha got bored like halfway through the letter.
It's too early for this.
Oh, okay. Wait, who's?
Tasha. I'm playing. Mostly forget which one.
And
Tasha the
One who.
She climbs.
I said
No, Tasha's the child.
Oh,
No, Tasha's the very.
okay. With the rabbit. The what is it?
Jackalope?
Thank you. The jackalope bunny stuffed animal.
Yep.
I do
That's-
still carry that around.
Umbrella.
It's my
That's
doll from
actually
my
a
friend Littlebug.
that's a long range walkie talkie.
Mm-hmm.
It's my treasure.
Yeah, Tasha's the child. Bella's the tree girl.
Yep.
A climber. Elijah's the lady.
Cool. But yeah, so with that news fresh on everyone's plate, small card, directions, lock number, hours until that gig off.
Dogs.
Eggs.
You like dags?
Yes, we all like dags.
Yeah, I like dogs. You like caravans more.
And if any of you need to go for a bite, you have some time. So, nothing specifically about refreshments served on.
I'm all full up. I finally gained back all of my willpower, guys.
To bring
Good job.
That didn't take a while.
It's all back again.
Typically,
You're recovered from your
effects of often.
brush with butt stuff.
For real.
JC, it is a Camarilla venture, so you are going to need to bring those filled out TPS reports. But
Yep. Did you get the memo?
Let's go get a bunch of fish guts and slap it on top of that.
Don't forget the.
Is one of the lumbars. So like, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Are they like
Not sure. On some sort of ship. So, you're like, if the crew pools or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I have him? Gonna tell accompanying us, but have to hang out on the.
right.
I don't.
You know you're not gonna remember what this is.
I know, that's why I do it to myself.
All right.
I think it's time that Patricia stay home and calm down. I'm back. It's okay.
Russ is just fine with Sasha staying home.
Patricia has grace of a very obedient dog being told to stay, not in fact want. She is sliding way more into the model of respected Victorian heroine. You appreciate of the 2 of you.
Yeah. Darling, I know I was away for a while, but this reception, I believe, has carried on enough.
Breathes heavily and quickly, but does not say anything, or the breath of all that need to be said.
Oh my.
Solid literature.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll be back after. What are we doing? After court. It will only be a moment.
Gonna be boned if we're there overnight.
I mean,
Do I have to wear my shoes?
Yes. The bar is low.
the bar.
I'm wearing clothes.
Yeah, well, and shoes.
Shoes aren't clothes.
I'm not getting into this.
Pip,
Just
does-
wear shoes.
do you have this conversation alone with Patricia, or is you and Everett are...
I think I have it with just Patricia.
Okay.
I might mumble about it to Everett as we leave, though.
He sort of smirks and takes it in stride, and he's like, want some assistance with them and no.
Whatever you're going to do to her, darling.
Oh, well, you see, what you do with that is you just give them something to focus on instead. Like, perhaps help with...
Now, I was going to have Jean-Pierre take her out for a meal, but that also makes sense.
No, that's right in the same vein of thought, absolutely.
Well, she's just going to have to stay home today. I didn't tell her to do anything.
I'm sure she'll be fine. Right. And, like, pops the hat on, arm,
Yep.
So all of you head down to the dock at the appointed hour.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
I am
please.
there pouting with shoes on.
I place a big old paw on Sasha's head and just be like, Don't. Yeah, I understand. You know me. I don't really like wearing them either.
Sasha or Tasha?
Oh, Tasha. Sorry, my bad.
You're telling your horse you don't like to wear shoes either? I mean, you know.
She doesn't. Yeah, no, she's upset about it.
Yep.
Right. Come on, Sasha, you gotta wear your booties.
Well, yeah,
Well,
I guess
never.
I chose the least holy clothes. Well, HOLEY clothes that weren't dresses or any of Frankie's stuff.
You have to keep fucking separate wardrobes. How do we get into this?
Well, Tasha won't wear the dresses. I'm not sure she understands the concept of formal wear. She's like, but it'll tear if I try to play around.
Yeah. It's one night. We can make it through.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys make your way down Dock District. A couple of you've frequented already. It is a weird wonderland of flux. There are a few areas of line, or they're a dying breed. More and more ships are just being abandoned, sort of, or moor off and capsize. More and more piers are put out further in the day to allow for ships to dock. And then fill is used on X to expand the land itself, the edges of the docks that are out. Quite a ever-changing shape. This particular area seems to have some sort of order as a port sector, as ships all appear to have some sort of crew associated. However, almost on cue, as you all sort of make Dock Road, off in the distance, a set of masts come sliding at much too fast. Like, none of you are really nautically inclined beyond Russ having his heritage. Like, and
at some point or another, Russ knew how to sail, but he forgot that a long time ago.
Yeah, and
I've been river rafting before.
It sure wasn't with these ships.
I mean, Pippa was shipped from England to the United States as a human. Right. So,
but even with that limited knowledge, you all realize that those masts are going fast for water is. And
oh god!
Oh,
Is it gonna crash into the?
Is it black ships?
Yeah, it literally smashes into the coast shoreline. Like you literally witness a ship lurching onto dock, and
I really don't think they're supposed to do that.
Boards and rope just smash everything.
Wow, what happened?
Russ immediately runs over there and tries to, if anybody's in the way, he tries to get him out of the way.
Well, enough people saw it, so there's actually quite a clearing. If you want to sprint over, you can.
I mean, there's a big thing happening over there. Russ's protective bear mode goes into Papa Bear mode. Yeah. And so he's basically running over there to do whatever, triage for whatever triage you do for a boat crash.
Rush hustles off down the dockway, and
do
Russ,
we go?
As you get a little closer, you see that there's men on the ship, and all of them are whooping and hollering, and some of them are like throwing ropes down. Some of them just like jump off, scramble, and like hobble a little as they get. And they're all just bolting into the city.
Like they're running towards.
Like happy running toward the city, or holy shit, get me the hell off this boat.
No, there is
running toward the city.
More the first. There is a frantic energy of like you're a 6-year-old at Disneyland, just like get fucking here, yeah.
That's
like
weird.
It is ridiculous.
Is it like fucking grad night? What's going on here?
They skidded the boat into the parking spot, slammed it into the barrier, and then just got out and left the car there. All right, fair enough.
Yep.
Humans.
Holy shit. It's spring break.
Why is everybody running?
Russ is just standing there like, what?
Oh, no.
Y'all do know you just crashed your boat, right? Like that thing's supposed to be out there
on the water, I believe.
But that's not how you're supposed to sail boats. I know that.
If nobody's hurt or nobody's like, there's no real problems over there. Russ just confusedly wanders his way back over to the group.
Yeah, everyone's just sort of like scampering away from
Hannah,
oh yeah, there's a few around. You guys notice
Hmm?
I'll be right back. Laundry.
Mm-hmm.
there aren't.
You guys meet the Gangrel Primogen.
I don't remember.
Is there any?
I
Hank?
I don't remember meeting a Hank.
We might have, but I'm not sure.
I don't have a Hank in.
Well, it's fine. Yeah, you guys notice Hephaestus sort of leaning up against a pylon.
Hephaestus.
Just sort of taken in the air, and he watches the thing happen. Watches Russ go by. All the rest of you are like, "What?" And he just sort of like nods, like, "That happened."
Okay, because I'm looking towards them. Like, are these the company that we were expecting, or something?
Oh, you sort of like look over and
Yeah, I'm like,
and the slightest squint.
Yeah, like is.
Oh, never seen the fever take hold of the locals, have you?
There's a fever?
Ah, yes. It happens on occasion out here. Usually more during the day, obviously. Portals, but no, they're headed for the gold fields to strike it rich.
Still seems mighty unsafe to just let your boat do that.
Is that the boat we're meant to be on?
No.
Oh, lovely.
It appears to be. Something arrow.
Now it's broken.
Yeah, no. Yes, no. Our ship is here. Golden Fleece is on the card.
Yes.
I didn't read it.
I look at Tasha. I was like,
Yeah.
you don't sound sure.
No. Maybe.
I look at her. I was all like, I was a tutor.
If the price is right.
I can teach you to read if you would like. Not read.
I don't know. I feel like I know it already.
Hey.
I just don't use it. I think.
Maybe.
I don't know how her brain processes that she can actually read, even though she might not have been reading at 7 years old. But it's weird, man.
There you go.
Malkavians be weirds.
Okay. Well, in that case, I shall. Have more.
They brought in more cattle, everyone.
Exactly.
Well, so long as they stay in the city, but they're not.
Oh, they got a.
No, they
They just
didn't
crashed
seem overly
their
concerned about it.
boat.
Those are the kind of guys that when they get on the Oregon Trail, they buy nothing but bullets.
Damn it.
Yeah.
They won't last long
They
out
don't
there.
even remember to pack axles.
They don't even remember to pack shovels or pans or anything actually you would use for gold. Like,
Did you
digging.
guys see the video where someone asked Siri if first Jumanji, and Siri responds with "Jumanji's over. Welcome to the Oregon Trail."
No, I haven't seen that. That's great.
Cool.
I mean, that better or worse than.
Hmm.
I feel there's a higher chance of survival.
So,
Yeah.
I think I've only won that game like twice when I played it as a kid.
yeah, as Mr. Concordus gestures to ship on the pier behind him. Yes, it's a slim, sleek clipper, and has a knight in armor as its figurehead.
Ooh.
Yes, in old lettering that shines off of from a reflection. You can see the golden fleece.
Thank you.
Golden fleece. Boston.
Well,
Boston. Well, actually, that would be on the back. Well, if it was towed in, yeah. Yeah, across the stern. Stern Castle, yeah. Golden Fleet, Boston. That's its home port.
What was Hephaestus's last name?
Concordius.
Concordius. I was like, I know it was Concord, but I'm like, there's more. Because, of course, Pippa would not refer to him as
Oh
Hephaestus.
boy, it's okay. So it's from Boston, which means it's been a long way
yeah.
Yeah.
because it still has to take a long way around.
They probably left when we did.
So, yeah, he's like decided to stop for a nibble before things started. Good to do politics on a stomach.
Politics.
No, I suppose not. Pip bobs him a curtsy and says, well, we shall see you on the ship, Mr. Concordius.
Really.
Hi, I'm Tasha. I'm pretty sure I haven't met.
He's like, hello, I'm Hephaestus.
Hephaestus? That's a long name. You should shorten it.
Well, I do go by Festus on occasion.
Am
I was
I
waiting for her to
allowed
say Fester.
to call you that?
I sort of
Look
lean
like-
over to him. Maybe.
Only if the gentleman permits you.
Do you permit me to call you that?
Like he's like, is Tasha short for something?
Yes, it's short for Nictosius Walker.
Very well. So
It
giving me
means
your full
little
name.
horse Walker. Walker just means Walker.
Says, seems like a fair exchange. You've given me your full name, allowed me to call you Tasha. My full name is Hephaestus. Pudding.
I have
Okay.
Cyrilius.
Yeah, Hephaestus Cyrilius Concordis. But yes, for short, you may call me Hephaestus.
Okay. Thank you,
I
Festus.
mouth a silent thank you to Hephaestus
You would probably
as
would
I
have
bow
butchered
my
that
head.
whole bunch.
You know, he's sort of like, I see she's one of Genevieve's. But, got it.
That's correct.
Yes, Genevieve is.
I don't know anyone named Genevieve.
You will. You will. We'll
Oh.
One
go
day.
through this round.
Is she my age? Or
You know that question is not easily answered, yes.
Yes.
You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific.
Give the last.
No. Just phone to you.
I like all the
I'm
names.
like, I don't think John has any notes. It's if Sally has it.
I don't know. Maybe he just remembers. I mean, it is possible that you gave it, but I don't have it anymore.
My
Yeah, I don't
most
recall her
recent
last name.
list of court positions does not have a Gangrel, Malkavian, or Nosferatu.
Okay, so because you guys would have this info anyway, I will
Okay.
give you the court. Ready?
Alright.
Hey,
All right, starting from the top and working our way down.
Wait,
Look at her.
this is the moment.
Disappears into the black curtain.
I have my notes ready
Right.
already.
This is the moment where the professor is like, this is likely to be on the test.
Everybody opens their backpack / desk.
and I'm here fucking naked. My God.
Must be Monday.
Yep.
I mean, most of you know that the prince is Vannevar Thomas. That
Yes.
part. we got
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Strauss, not Klaus, Strauss is the seneschal. Raldoth is the court magician.
Oh, Tony Mike, I can't.
What? I thought we had these.
I do have these. I have
Strauss is the what?
court magician.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Strauss
No.
is the seneschal.
Thank you.
We don't have these.
No.
Hey,
I have these because I pestered him the last time.
didn't I name someone Klaus too? Just a
Yes.
Jerk.
That's right. Make him
So
a
I tried
dude,
to spell
please.
court with a Q, by the way. I'm super stressed out. I'm not ready for this.
You want it to be a court, not a court.
A court.
It's like open book, but you brought the wrong subject's notes,
Yep.
and you're like, fuck.
Oh no, you get a cheat sheet, but it's like totally I don't know.
Chemistry. This is not gonna help me.
These are just recipes for cookies. That would be me. That would be me.
Maximilian
Right, right
is
in-
the seneschal.
Yeah, Max.
Right in the essay, like, can I just make you a plate of cookies instead?
Right.
Does that give me,
All right,
extra points?
So Vannevar, Strauss, Raldoff.
Rolled off. Yeah.
And then the
now-
sheriff is Clarence.
Yes. Sheriff is Clarence.
Clarence. Yeah, got that.
Now for the fun part. Primogen.
Okay.
Corridor.
Huh?
Suzanne Rochelle.
That's right.
Yep, got that.
Susan Rochelle.
Ventru is Anna Allen.
Present.
Wow.
The
Hannah was
Bruja,
ready. Of course, Hannah was ready.
the Bruja is Hephaestus Cerilius Concordus.
Bruja.
Jaw.
Yeah, the whole Bruja.
Hephaestus
Bruja.
Ilias Concordius. Okay.
The Malkavian Primogen appears to be a young lady by the name Genevieve Donner.
Genevieve.
Oops. Damn.
Related to the
Got
party.
that correct.
You don't know.
I'm sorry. Genevieve what?
Donner.
Donner.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought.
I was like, I mean, she's Malkavian.
Right.
No.
Hey.
She's her own crew.
Whether or not the name was meant to be evocative. Yeah, all right. And
Right.
then
Yeah.
you met the acquaintance of the Nosferatu Primogen,
That's true.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Reginald A.
Yep.
Yeah, he kept freaking everybody out.
Well, when you can stick your tongue out through the side of your face, it kind of...
Yeah.
You made junk.
Well, meanwhile, Abe was like, "Hey, I'm not the worst one here. That's amazing."
Hey,
For
Reginald,
once.
you want to be my wingman?
It's like, "Hey, my eyes are level. I got a good thing going here. Can we start hanging out exclusively?
That's
Like,
right.
I'll just be here."
I never seen two beautiful best friends.
That's right. Finally,
The
it
Tremere
took a trip through all the U.S. to get to that.
is Gundram von Eckerbert.
I have
Gundram.
Gun-
Gunrh. Underham.
What?
Yeah,
UN.
I never knew there was an H.
I may be the only other person that's seen that name written out.
Ever.
Yeah.
G-U-N-E-R.
Uh-huh.
Ham.
Gundra.
It's like Gunder Ham.
Okay.
From von Eckert. Yeah, you thought the Schlieben was good. No.
So I always thought it was a T and not a D.
Me too.
I thought it was
I thought it was
Guntram.
a D, but I just didn't know there was an H.
It's that
Yeah.
good Viennese.
It's also
Yeah.
like, you know.
Well,
I
we
know
all
that
know
Duke.
we all know
We all
that
know-
Tony is a ham. So
Eh.
all right, I'll go home now.
And it's got a good D, so
And then
tell me what
the
we're talking about.
Gangrel Primogen. Hank Bird.
Like
Hank
a
Bird?
flying
Bird?
Yes.
B-I-R-D? B-Y-R-D? Okay.
Hank Bird.
Bird.
My
My name
name
is Hank Bird. I sell birds and bird accessories.
Right.
Is his hair a bird?
My son Bobby Bird.
Bobby Bird.
God damn it, Bobby. My daddy says butane is bastard gas.
True story.
Whenever we have Basil sitting on top of like the shelf over here, he like anytime we walk past him, basically us, and then he'll like sometimes try and reach out and like bap you. And so my new thing is to scream back at him, "I don't know you, that's my purse."
That's my first. I don't know you.
Oh no!
I had a mouthful of boba.
You didn't even tell her the part where you kick Basil in the crotch.
Aww.
I did not kick him in the crotch.
That's okay. The reference to the show. That's
I know
what
it's
he
a
does.
reference. I know that's what he does. I would not kick Basil. Across. He doesn't have nothing.
No, he
anyways.
doesn't. It's,
Like, I got rid of them.
it's
It's just
all-
like it's like that epic part
it's
where
all-
he tries to like kick his mom. So
Yeah.
like, I don't have testicles. What we gonna do now?
Why are you doing
Go
this?
in again.
This is
You
Your own
see
fault.
me drinking. I'm not like off camera. Like you see it here.
Oh, it hurts to laugh. Stop it, Lisa.
that defense can work in a lot of situations. I tell you.
Ew.
My fault.
It is.
My fault.
Absolutely.
Damn it, Jared. Just look over and there's Bobby Hill making that face.
Yep.
Oh my
I need a
gosh.
moment.
Okay. I'm gonna drink again, JC. Do you have anything else to say?
No.
Oh,
The pure joy of it is that we have no consideration for whether or not you're. You have no one to blame but yourself.
I'm honestly not looking at the time.
That has been
at
a
the
long,
screen, so.
a long tradition at this table.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
just trying to drink
Everyone's
my
like-
lychee jelly
Where she's like, I
out
don't
of my
like that
grapefruit
kind of
drink in
uh,
peace.
Right.
things.
The proper way, not through the nose.
Oh God, I couldn't even imagine squeezing one of those up my nose.
Ah, yeah, that's not okay.
I don't like those. Prize boba.
I once laughed out a Mr. Goodbar through my nose. That was
Oh
Awful.
God.
Oh, wow.
chocolate doesn't feel good coming out your nose, especially with it has chunks of peanut in it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's
Not
kind
my
of,
favorite.
We were talking
that is
No.
about.
not a smooth activity.
Don't knock it till you try it, Jaren.
Nope. Good.
Yeah, no, we were talking.
Anywho,
about,
so get on a boat.
we were talking about strawberry refreshers, and I was like, I don't know why Lisa doesn't like the strawberries. It's like prize boba instead of bottom.
It's squishy and I don't like it.
Like,
And then I end up having to be like weird and sucking on the sippy cup top, trying to like use my tongue to push the strawberry side to get some fucking drink out of it. It's pretty awful. I hate it. I killed Tony.
He's seasoned
They're in
up.
the way and they're squishy and I don't like them.
That has been established. Yeah, you're getting on a boat.
I actually like them very much, but
As you walk past
everybody is entitled.
the stern castle of this sleek ship, down the dock a little bit here, a little bit. Nice gangplank been laid out. It has rope rail
So fancy.
along the lower masts and rigging. Lanterns have been hung, illuminate deck.
No, it's more.
I look at Theo
It's
whenever
close.
like the dog
It's better.
here for a while.
That's
and see the other
Jordan's.
Carpets.
Oh.
Left.
couple. Okay. Like,
It's
sure. Stay out of trouble.
What we do in the shadows. It's great. Go watch it.
Yes.
And no, yeah, he posts up there on the dock and sort of pulls his coat closer around himself. You're in this
Okay, yeah,
On
no,
the-
it's fine.
on the
Poor Theo.
He'll be fine.
Okay. Please leave your ghouls at the coat rack, please.
I left him water.
Hanging up in his coat.
Aw.
Water. He's got the window cracked. He's fine.
The car is in air conditioning pet mode. Please do not break the window.
Here, Theo, hold this
Oh.
sign.
But he's gonna get cold and catch sick.
And as you guys ascend the gangplank, Clarence is there. An extra mast on this
We do love a lurch.
at the top of the gangplank, sort of at the bouncer coat check position.
Do we have to do the secret handshake?
Sort of looks like if a stiff wind hits, he's just gonna go inside like a log.
He's just a plank and that's it.
Really, he is just a large piece of wood, eyes painted.
Right. Abe wonders if he trips, if he has to announce it and yell timber just so nobody gets injured.
Everyone just yells rock.
I feel like you'll just do it anyway, just because it's like habit.
Force a habit.
A tall thing is falling. Timber.
Yep.
Pippa warmly greets her husband's business partner.
You get a most heart-warmed and yeah, there appears to be a small series of chairs out facing forecastle bow. Mingling area appears to be at the back of the main deck toward the castle, as there are a number of the city chit-chatting in cluster. A few are taking interest in this marvel of hearing prowess. Yeah, you guys see some new faces.
I'm back.
As well as some familiar.
New faces.
Oh.
I don't actually remember who I've met, so.
Pip, you and your husband recognize Dr. Oshka.
Oh, that's right.
Who has a
That's
young woman
right.
next to him. Is wearing way too few clothes for the environment. But so are a few of you, because what is cold when you are a corpse? But yes, no, actually, her skirt has some, the term, but basically gathering ties that show off way too much of her heel and even some calf.
My.
He is
Whoa.
a sloot. So,
Trumpet.
yeah. You're welcome.
But is she wearing shoes, though?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would be pornographic. Like, no shoes with that amount of ankle. Like, this is.
Come on now.
I'm remembering the picture that John sent of the outfit that Abe would be wearing, and I'm just imagining those stockings and little shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Giggle.
Yeah. These are good, solid, like, moccasins. Like, you just.
Ooh.
I look at Pip and wait for her to start signaling in fan about how offended she is with Soshka's lady.
Fan.
Looks like she's trying to murder a whole family of flies. Just,
Where is my fan? Oh, here it is.
She's gonna land some fucking planes tonight.
Like she's walking with Everett, and all of a sudden you hear snap. Hannah! Miss Allen!
I wasn't expecting so much ankle. Oh.
Take a turn about the room with
Do
me!
we need to turn about the room? Let's go take a turn about the room.
Wits plus alertness for the two of you as you
Me and Lisa?
as you begin your exchange.
Oh no!
Flapping about
Panther,
like
ghost.
drunken bats.
Ghost ship.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, was that wits plus what?
Alertness.
That's 3 and
Difficulty
2.
7.
Ew.
You are very distracted currently.
God damn it. Difficulty what?
7.
7.
Ooh.
4. 5. Paiva.
You notice this girl seems earnest of.
She working them heels like she knows how to sway.
Yes. She obviously knows what she's doing.
Okay.
Pip, with your 5, she knows what you're doing.
And I snapped that fan shut.
You hear her giggle as if she thinks it's the cutest thing.
Cool.
And then she takes her fan and like popes. I pope you. She pokes Hannah with it,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like, we've been discovered.
Hannah's eyebrows go up, and then she looks at the girl with these raised eyebrows, like,
Miss Allen's eyebrows. The sloot has noticed us.
Why is everybody looking at that lady? She has a weird dress on.
Looking.
Because there's legs.
Please avert your eyes, miss.
I have legs. Are you gonna look at me?
Russ is ignoring most of this and is kind of walking in, blushing as he just walks into the to wherever the meeting area is, trying to get the lascivious strumpet's legs out of his head.
Well, I lost one of my die.
Pray to Jesus.
oh no.
Right. Also, Pip, please don't pope. We might all disintegrate.
I'll try to keep
More
it under
likely
control.
that Pippa will look straight at the Pope while using Auspex.
Whatever it takes to defeat.
It's not like I haven't done it before.
All right.
Actually, because Pip was found out, she's going to approach the woman
Oh.
and introduce herself and apologize for her conduct.
All right. Well. So. As you and Miss Allen's eyebrows
Just the eyebrows.
Flutter over.
recalibrate your social situation, how the dance starts so quickly, and make your way over to this clump. Approach the popular kids playground, and
Is Boomer there? Or is it just,
well, you actually see that
And was that the other person the other guest of
Yeah.
honor or whatever?
I mean, I do know the doctor, so I mean, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be that wrong of me to go over there.
Percival Beaumont Gutierrez. He is not there.
okay.
But there is another man with a smart mustache, a top
Ooh.
hat that makes you fear for its structure. Quite impressive. Matches the suit and everything. There is a smart cane that is held loosely, obviously an affectation and not necessary for his ambulation.
Oh, that happened. Everything's fine.
There's-
I'm sorry.
Top hat. There's the good doctor. There's Sloot, and they are having a conversation with. So good. And they're having a conversation with
Everything's fine.
Genevieve.
Oh, great.
And-
And a primitive. I am here naked.
And with the Von Eckerberts. There's Muddy Soul. Gundrum. A little bit of a chit.
By the way, Tasha's bored and starts to find doors to open. She wants to see if anything can be opened.
Oh yeah, there's a sick door right there behind these two, behind this group, that goes into the ship.
Ooh, I want.
Or if you want a real challenge, right in the middle of the deck, there's a big like lattice work grate that most people are avoiding because their heels would get stuck in the holes. But this thing's not locked or anything. You could just open it and scramble in.
That looks a little too much like a cage to me, though.
Fair.
I kind of want to see what's past this door.
All right. How do you navigate the door?
How do I go there? I mean,
Stroll right up to it. And...
I just stroll there because I don't really have a reason to think right now that anyone would stop me.
Okay.
But if they do, then I'll find other ways.
All right. So Tasha's
Challenge accepted.
Tasha's following along, seemingly. The rest of you, Ms. Allen and Sterling, please another round. Actually, yes. Perception plus alert. Difficulty 6.
For the record, if Tasha goes off or tries to like break off to go wander about the boat doing random things, there is going to be a very large hand that will be picking her up by the scruff of her whatever she's wearing to remind her to stay with the group.
So it's the flail.
Yeah, you do the flail. It's like pick you up, you flail a little bit. Like, we need to be professional tonight. We're gonna stay together.
I wanted to see what was behind the door.
I know. You get plenty of time to explore later, but tonight is for manners.
But everybody's gonna just talk about boring stuff.
I know. I don't like it either.
Oh, believe me, I don't like
Listen
it.
to Russ. Russ
If-
doesn't
look,
want to
if-
be here, and yet Russ behaves like he should.
He points to his hat. I put on a hat for this. I don't like wearing these things.
Okay.
Tell you what, as long as you're good for the night and you don't run off and you stay close to the rest of the group, I will carve you a horsey out of whatever kind of wood you can find, and I'll make you a brand new one.
Really? Okay. Suddenly, best Tasha occurs.
That is an adorable kitty.
Aw.
Isn't she?
Um,
She's so mad.
And she knows.
Nah, she's just distressed because she knows she's gonna stay held here until.
Well, since I got the fish, I think she's been feeling a little neglected.
Oh, really?
Oh.
'Cause I've spent a lot of time looking at that fish.
Oh, kitty.
Sasha's like, no, I got your number. I'm gonna get you. These are my people.
So, Miss Allen and Mrs. Sterling, you notice that. Yes. Not quite like it, but
Oh my god.
there is a.
Oh my.
It's been so long since I've made her yodel.
If I had a dollar. All right.
Cat in an earthquake.
Apparently, there's a sailor up by the forecastle singing shanties.
Woo!
There's some this evening.
How nice.
Pip, with your 5, you hear some more blue content in the song, but which you find a little off color for this attendance. But perhaps it's because it's early in the night. Odd.
Well, then.
Yeah, if either of you glance back, you know that sitting there on the railing and appears to be whittling while he's typing out. A couple different. But you are focused on this other mission. Yes, you approach the experts and trio. There was one more person, or was that it?
The doctor, the strumpet, the Eckerberts, some men.
Man with a mustache and top hat. And
Correct.
Genevieve.
Ah, yes. Cool. So yes. Mrs. Eckerbert breaks the circle immediately and goes, Hola, Senor Sterling, Alan, and Senor Sterling, right? And just like, is that right? And they're all like, oh, okay. New challengers have entered the arena. Well done. And
That's what we have.
because she knows she started it, Marisol. Let me go. And she introduces. In case you have, or I'm pretty sure she knows. You know Genevieve.
She knows I know the doctor
Yeah.
because we talked about it.
Genevieve goes by Jenny. It's actually not affected in it as far as accents. She goes, of course, Sterling's, you know that Dr.
Stoshka.
Reiner Stoshka. And this is his she points to the salute and says that this is associate from France, Millefleur
Oh God.
Jean Donny.
Would you please, John? Would you please look at my husband and tell him he's doing a terrible job at this?
What?
Not
What?
being
Like, spell it
allowed
out.
to come up with French names that you can't pronounce.
And or paste it on Discord.
If he can't spell it, I know I've done it right.
That's right.
All right, who is this salute?
In doubt, add a vowel.
Oh yeah, this has got him. Okay, so
Did you just totally put together random letters, or did you actually look up a name?
okay, the last name.
No,
is
that's a real name.
But Millefleur is a real name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So MILL.
FEUILLE, right?
Oh, I spelled it LEUR, but that works too.
Hey, which way is it spelled?
Either way.
Is
MILL.
Fleur.
I thought it was. Oh, it's Fleur. Fleur.
Fleur.
Okay, so never mind. FLEUR is correct.
MILL.
EF.
I was thinking about the dessert. Sorry.
F.
Yeah.
I found out that dessert backwards is stress.
UR.
You're gonna have to do it all over again because everyone just started saying letters, and I'm like, I don't know.
And then
MILL.
I'll get. Do you want me to Slack it to you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send.
Is it that, Tony?
Everyone at the same time just all started saying letters, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm never gonna know.
that was good.
Wait, did Jaren get it?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Millefleur.
Thank you.
All right, here, let me just type it in.
Thank you.
For prosperity's
And
sake.
she's is French
Posterity?
associate.
No. Prosperity.
Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna make us rich.
Posterity.
What name is that, Tony?
Jean-Louis.
You're Judomwe. There's not even an N in there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's one.
It's between the O and the U. Just nestled there.
I don't know. What do you think, John? How would you pronounce that?
Can I see? What
Yeah,
are
that
we
one.
doing?
That one's a tough one.
Why do you make up names that don't exist from French? You're not French.
It felt right.
Not done way.
Yeah, I think that's the closest you're gonna get.
See? Yeah. Take it.
Not done way.
Joie Denis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some other influence in there. There's
Yeah.
been some mixing.
Some Basque
Yeah.
on in there.
Pippa in her spectacular French says, "Enchantée, mademoiselle, I assume. I don't know if she's married with those ankles about."
Who's gonna want that?
Everyone. You always want what you're not supposed to have.
That's right.
At this point, she's just a flaky little pastry skipping about on the arm of a doctor.
Because you said her in French, my natural instinct to go mutual, I'm sure, but
Good job, Tony.
But no,
And she does a very low curtsy and does apologize for her earlier looks.
he actually are so yes, in Southern dialect.
Yeah.
He changes stance almost as if she's sing. Like legs are out. Ever gonna see these legs? Like it's a weird affected pose, like cosplayer. And doing okay, and in French says, "Oh, think nothing of it. I know latest fashion times." Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Are sometimes.
I was actually going to be Hannah's next comment, even though she doesn't know what's going to be happening. She'd be like, once she finds out that she's from France, she's going to basically be like, oh, I see. This must be the French fashion.
So when she says, yes, sometimes, or I understand sometimes the latest fashions are not risque.
Avant-garde?
No, not exciting.
Experimental.
To create a hullabaloo.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
It's right there.
yeah, whatever that word is, somewhat she uses that word, and she goes,
Exhilarating? No.
no, not quite. Close.
No.
But
Yeah.
and then she says, "I'm sure you'll be wearing something soon in no time."
Hannah doesn't know French, so she has no idea. She's just going based off of your entirely.
I was like, well, unfortunately, Pippa can't flush, even though she really wants to right now. Like, this is a madam.
You just gotta strain yourself for
Yeah.
until you get real red.
Pip, make me a wits plus alertness.
I know what she's doing.
Difficulty 8.
I know exactly what she's doing.
No, this isn't for her.
Oh, okay.
Something else.
Someone knows that I've just been cut. Or is my husband gonna, like, have a thing to say?
Difficulty 8. What you got?
2!
Your husband has an opinion apparently, but you don't care. You've been attacked.
I've been cut.
Yeah. For those watching the movie in the third person, voiceover in Everett's voice that says, "I can only hope as much. Yes, quite soon."
Goes right over my head.
So, but no, he rolled excellently and refrained. So
Good job. Good boy. Pip does, like, stiffen up and just standing that much taller and goes, don't do it. God, I'm not going to cut her back. But I just like, oh. Well, I look forward to seeing your other costumes over the time being.
You say this in English or French?
We're still French.
Okay.
I really want to
Oh, I
ask
do have
about
French.
the dress, but I'm supposed to
Okay,
be
apparently I understand most of it, but I'm going to stay quiet. My French is
Tasha
not
starts
good.
vibrating a little bit, you know, and I really want to do a thing, but I can't because I want the horsey.
and then
Russ, as he feels her just like, oh, hang on a second, sorry. He feels her just like vibrating under his hand, and it's like, now if you look close, if you watch, I've been watching Miss Allen and Mrs. Sterling do their thing for a little while, and if you look real close, you can see about the point where where she's about to attack the other one. It's like this with birds; they go flying at each other out in the wilderness, and you can see them when they're about ready to pounce.
Yep.
They flare up, And I'm just like going full nature documentary. I'm going full nature documentary on those two.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay.
Pippa has the most perfect, impeccable posture,
Right.
and it's just
They're not gonna fight. They're already fighting.
Yeah,
it's fighting.
Yeah.
There's already
They're
been a
just
couple
staring at
blows.
each other.
Oh, don't mistake it. There's blood has been drawn.
I
And
tried
Steve
to
can
defend.
understand this conversation. So
Oh right! Oh man! If
Abe is just like wincing a little bit, and it's like, ooh,
Ooh.
that's not gonna go well.
So since Hannah does know French, she does actually in poor French because Hannah's French is not good. So like her accent is really like it's an American accent or like whatever. It's terrible. But she basically says back, she's like, ah yes, French fashion.
Well, see, Pippa really likes French fashion, but unfortunately, it doesn't get to California as fast as everything else, and she knows this. Ooh. When they were on the East Coast, the French fashion got to her faster.
Perfect cat butthole.
Sorry.
Right there.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Up front and center.
There it is. Man.
Have some shrimp.
Yeah, and then leave. You think ankles are bad? Here.
Did
Have
we
some of
embarrass
this.
you? Did we embarrass you because you showed your butthole to the world?
And then we called you on it.
Yes, Tony, your cat just came and streaked in our game.
I mean, it happens at least once every game, right?
Not that perfectly. Like it was just straight into the camera.
It was kind of like censored.
Yeah.
Like that episode of Bob's Burgers. With all the butts.
Oh, all the butts with the butthole paintings.
Yeah, all the butthole painting. Anyway, so in the sort of like in the sort of pregnant pause before the next sortie between the three of you, there see it's interrupted by edifice that is this top hat that comes sweeping down like a scythe.
And we've even not been.
Yeah, tricks. And
The fan comes out again, and
Yeah.
she's just like,
and you hear voice that says, Guten Nacht. Guten Nacht. Hello.
Russell's here?
Hello, Swedish chef.
He said, Gerdy Fern, dear, get your for Turkish turkey. Dear, dear, blur, blur, Gerdy Fern, flippy flip.
Right now I can't unsee it though. I mean, that
You
I
would say
see.
hello.
Yeah.
First we take it a human, and then we take it a bite of the nuke. And we go how how.
Yeah, I think he said Bork.
bork, bork, bork.
You
You
ring
sound
the Herman Outlick Reg. So, and waterfall in it. So,
Oh, Christ.
What does he actually sound like? Or are we gonna go? Are we gonna stick with it?
he does have a Nordic accent.
Oh, he is. Okay.
So it is Russell. Okay.
And
Yeah.
no, much more refined.
Okay.
But
Thus
does,
the top.
does carry himself like he's been in combat. Like carries himself with a confidence.
So, like, how tall is he compared to Russ?
Not that tall, no.
Okay.
Not huge.
Wait, with top hat, is he as tall?
Did I miss? Hey, I said, did I miss who this is?
No.
He hasn't
No.
been formally introduced.
Okay, all right, I gotcha.
The problem is we didn't wait to be completely introduced around the circle, and I immediately started in with this French battle with this woman.
No, that's fair. I gotcha. I understand. I understand. You French battle got a French battle, but I just wanted to make sure we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. I want to make sure I didn't miss that he told us who this guy was.
No.
Yeah,
The top
no.
hat does reach the top of the top hat is taller than Russ, but Russ could come over and make out with the top hat. Like that's,
Perfect image. Now we need to draw a face on the top hat.
Yeah, Tasha would be confused. Like, why is he kissing the hat?
Yeah.
Axe Dad, why does Bear Dad want to eat that man's hat?
Body soul sort of gestures, as well as the doctor, as Joshua Abraham North. This is Doctor's friend, driving with. Total name. Eunice.
Wow.
She is.
I'm sorry, what's the Nord's name again?
Joshua Abraham North.
Joshua Abram.
Hello, my emperor.
He shares a name with you.
Yeah, he does.
Well, I hear.
Russ.
Wow.
Joshua. Surprisingly pink. For a human.
Okay.
He smells. Smells of prey.
Okay.
I was like, he shouldn't smell.
You don't want him to
I mean-
smell, but he does.
This is Joshua Norton we're talking about. He probably did smell kind of bad sometimes.
No, not yet.
Oh, I guess it's not time for him to be him yet.
What?
I
Wait,
don't know who this is.
historical figure.
Right, so.
What about
Oh, yeah, she's a vamp.
okay.
She's a vamp and a vamp. Oh, that guy. Okay.
Keeps doing that shit where she lets her fang.
How
Yeah.
gauche.
Hannah raises an eyebrow. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
I came over here to play nice, but you don't want to play nice. So I can play this game too.
All sorts of backhanded compliments. I can insult you better without seeming like I'm insulting you at all.
Aggressive compliments. It begins.
That's right. People are going to start taking damage.
All right, guys. Max capacity.
Good night, Miss Allen.
Good night.
Good night.
This little headache that.
Aw.
Notice
Good.
that
Get some rest.
quite offensive. The content of songs he's singing. On over to have a
Hannah approaches him with narrowed eyebrows. You're no longer gone down.
They're just
Not
one
seen-
eyebrow now.
not seem
Right.
cowed actions. But we'll come back to that.
All right, guys, have fun.
Night night.
Don't
Good night.
get into too much
Night.
trouble without me.
It's good seeing you.
I'm trying not to blow up the ship.
We'll try. Miss Allen is going to go
I mean, no one's letting me go down into the ship.
with these
Fine.
narrowed eyebrows. Miss Allen's going to cut a bitch. You just get close enough to draw blood.
Yep. It's like Peaky Blinders. They just become razor blades in her hairline.
There you go.
Mhm.
Other person arrives. The of
Clarence.
Clarence signals arrived. Norton looks up and goes, "Uma, ah!" And
Oh.
excuse me, my friend, and sort of scoots over to the new arrival, who is Percival.
Oh, hey, Percival.
Yep.
I think we met him.
Maybe at the previous court as individual Alta, California,
Yeah, we heard about him. I'm not sure we met him.
and part of leadership.
That's right.
Hey, Tony, reminder, the game takes place in 1859, right?
49.
The dates are no longer canonical, but yes. So there are many dates between historical figures and things are happening.
Sure.
But, yes,
But I just didn't remember for purposes of our game, actually, it's 1849 or...
main character, it's 18.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
About.
Crap.
All I know is we're still wearing bonnets and like perfect spring curls.
You
We
know,
haven't moved into
you don't
updos and
have
tiny hats
mutton
yet.
chop sleeves.
Yeah.
It's way too early for the mutton chops.
Yep.
Before 51. Say that. 48. Anyway, cool. So that we're there. And yeah, they're
Use it for something else.
yeah. So, Doctor.
The doctor.
Yes. Joshua is a man of temperaments and moods, and I do. If he's up for the lifestyle, so to speak. But that's the future. Discuss the. I've been having a conversation with the von Eckerberts about some of this, and I was wondering if we kindle some of our conversation. Lovely. Right?
Not Atlanta. No.
Yeah, the Sterling apartment.
Oh.
Atlanta,
Oh,
right?
it's not Atlanta. That's in Georgia. We're in
New
Louisiana.
Orleans, right?
Yeah, so either New Orleans or Baton Rouge kind of deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, which is real French, and got it.
Yes.
Everyone speaks a different French.
See,
That's right.
you have that Kentucky drawl
Yeah.
when you do, but he's Cher and all that shit. He's Gambit. That's what I wanted. I wanted Gambit.
We all did. Anyway.
Not false.
Yes. Perhaps we can kindle our discussion we had in those wonderful nights at the bayou. by which I have some evidence, or at least I believe I do, in the young lady here. Billy does like a curtsy move, to acknowledge. Yeah,
Wrinkled nose.
but or you guys can get farther into a few more arrivals. Go up, groups sort of shift, but only so far as to acknowledgement. There set of chairs that seem off the side from the brief note. One of the sides of chairs is matches the Primogen. Of seat. Prince. As everyone sort of starts to resettle into new roles, Maximilian steps face towards the rest of the ship. In front of us, at the front of the ship, announces to the ship that this evening's court will now commence. Please take your seats. Sort of for people to rifle in, taking there's no assigned seating other than sort of apparent that's like Primogen or Primogen, court title, everybody else. Once the Primogen and titled court are settled in, sort of snaps out in his harsh Russian, or in his harsh German accent, presents Highness Prince Thomas, man of our Thomas, Elder Sovereign Buena and the Round. Thomas brings himself up, back down. Thomas gives a perfunctory greeting. Acknowledges Perez. Doctor. Making the resources available to support such an intriguing setting. Not meant to be a hut or thing. Oh, this is neat. Oh, she mixes things up. It's nice. Very much the vibe of. He then looks over and he says, Seneschal Strauss, please. The rest of this. It's back down. Sort of settles in. The rest of the evening's event. Strauss steps up. Rousing success of steps further safeguard Highness subjects ourselves. Architects cautions. Besides himself, court magician Aldoth, Premier von Eckerbert, as well as sacrifices safeguards. And on that note, or we recognize did the trek around Linus's acknowledges by name all of you. Daniel,
Murray.
Murray, Alan, Shirley, Steve, Tucker, or Tom.
All right. Tasha thinks it's weird, but you know.
Eglantine. The whole crew, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Right. Cool. Okay. Anyone would like to make plus
Oh gosh.
Always.
or subterfuge
Wait, in etiquette? When did I do that?
or politics?
At least one of your personas can.
Does high society count?
Yes.
Difficulty?
This one's tricky. Those.
Does politics counted too?
Oh yeah.
Nope. I got a big fat 0. Which makes sense.
I got
Four.
one.
All right, Murray. Murray. Apparently, some soldiers were lost in that mission, and you weren't aware of them.
Huh.
Yeah, I heard the word sacrifices, and I'm like, we're fine. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, unless they send some parties before us.
Well, that's a good point.
Fortunate.
You notice 5 quick dart of the eyes rouse towards the Eckberts, or rather towards Gundrum, as Gundrum is sitting by himself, body soul crowd. You recognize the laser beam triangulate Rouse. Gundrum drops the eye contact to glance over at Muddy Soul, and how Muddy Soul makes downward as if she set back at Gundrum. Sure. Gundrum recomposes and the rest of the bodying agreement. Rest of Rouse set.
There's some business there.
Yep.
I mean, when we did get back, Bert was
Yeah, he was kind of
really
ill weak.
Yeah. Weren't there 3 of them? No, it was Raldolph, Strauss, and Guntram that gave us the... Is Raldolph there?
Yeah, Raldolph's right there.
Yeah, I think you said everybody was here, so.
Yeah. Okay.
The three wizards triad, they're all still there.
They're a coven.
Okay.
Go ahead and make me an int plus anyone can do this. Int plus occult.
Does fairy count?
No. This is difficulty 6.
Wow, Russ just doesn't care today.
I just like randomly.
I mean, it's all stuff that Russ doesn't usually care much about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quash this one. Tasha doesn't.
Okay.
Aw.
I was just like, no, actually.
So
So-
3 for Abe and Pippa.
This actually makes a lot of sense. Abe would probably keeping track of these cabbages, and then Pip, having seen this exchange,
Like
would put
cabbages.
2 and 2 together. None of you have seen Timothy B.
Oh. Who is he?
Yeah, you're
Bert's-
right. Tasha doesn't care.
Bert's child.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, my heart.
Those-
Okay. And then Pip's eyes go wide, and the fan comes up again, and she's like,
I
and just
if I notice this, I exchange a look with with Mrs. Sterling, and like
oh no. Yeah. Oh, my heart.
Pip, you if you glance over at Marisol, gives a half-hearted smile as if, oh, it's fine. No, not fine.
No, it's not fine.
Yeah, no.
No. Yeah.
Wow.
Pip touches her heart and bows her head to Marisol, and then does the stiff upper lip, Pippa, and then turn back to what's happening.
oof.
Oh,
Strauss announces Doctor and his guests staying in the city, in the prince's city, for a short time. Curious about land disputes or feeding rights. Continues on. Other than that, he spoke with His Highness, and he sort of like nods over it. Hard to at items. Also, for those who may not have heard, accommodate growth in our kindred as a whole, and still to be operated ever gracious Dermot McDonough.
Dermot McDermott.
Dermot Mc
What I said in my head.
He would now open the floor to any of the plans they have in new business. Don't believe Miss Allen has.
I'll
All of
pick you
the
up.
Primogen appear to just sort of like shake their head in the negative. After beat,
Apparently, Sasha has something to add.
I mean, she is the eldest as far as the and another beat of silence. He looks over, sort of checks with Thomas, sort of seems to consider something, and just sort of like gives a quick head shake, like, nah. And Strauss. And with that, conclude this evening's court, and we
I'm gonna
all again. I think they're being held weekly, monthly.
No.
Anyway, he says yes. You all again. Good evening. Sort of steps down and an unsure applause, but otherwise, yeah, it goes. and everyone sort of stands and reforms into that circle. A few people just like give a perfunctory nod to titled court their way off ship. So evening's festivities are at an end officially. Of course, game continues.
Well, Russ has no particular interest in the game. He's here because he's supposed to be. And there is currently a child underneath his paw that is threatening to vibrate her way through the deck of the ship. So
I'm trying to reach another dimension.
Yeah, it's Speed Force thing. It's a good thing she doesn't have celerity, because otherwise you do the thing that the Flash does where you vibrate your body so fast you set things on fire, so
And down goes the golden fleece.
yeah, pretty much. So Russ takes off his hat and does a little bow and says, I'm gonna head on off out of the ship for the night. I'll see you all back in the town. This all is a little too stuffy for me personally.
As you try to make your exit, see the man with his top hat talking with another man in a more older style outfit. You might almost call it revolutionary era, but with some accents. The two of them are having a little bit of chat as you're like, hi. Gentleman in the older attire is like, Mr. McDaniel, right?
Yes, sir. That would be my name.
You recognize that this is the Gangrel.
Mr. Bird, was it? I apologize. I know we haven't been formally introduced.
But he's like, no, not to worry. You notice the tinge of an accent, and he's like, I was just having a quick word with you, but wanted to officially make your acquaintance. Are associated here.
Hello. My name is, as you know, Lazarus Aaron McDaniel. I go by Russ most of the time. And
the top hat says, Russ, like that.
I'm Tasha.
Thank you. Yes, this here is Tasha. She is a handful.
He goes.
And I got big plans.
Of course. Hello, Tasha. I believe you've met Joshua, Mr. Norton.
Not formally, but hello, Mr. Norton. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Sure.
You share a name with Axdad.
Russ chuckles and he's just like, that is my our associate Abe, Mr. Murray over there, and he points towards wherever Abe is at.
Abe is standing next to Reginald, looking amazing.
Yeah,
right.
Like suddenly I'm a solid 5 now.
He taps Tasha on the head and he says she's become seems like she's become kind of bonded in one way or another to our Nosfer. I apologize. I'm still kind of new to some of this. Nosferatu, correct?
Nosfarty.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that.
Hank lets you get through it, and when you get the correct, he's like, yeah, that one. Like you get the sense that he's not judging. He's just letting you work it out.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I met Hickory a while back, so I imagine I'm assuming that he kind of operates in a similar fashion, but maybe with more words.
Oh, Hank has definitely said more words in just this introduction
than Hickory ever did. Yes, Axe Dad is her pet name for Abe over there, and I believe what is it you call me, darling?
Bear Dad, because
That's
you
the
turned
one.
into a bear. An axe dad.
He turns into
He
an
taught me to throw axes.
well, he like, well, that's delightful. Perhaps one day I'll be Fox Uncle. See.
Maybe.
Of which, you do strike me as the who's been out in the woods.
You could say that.
As members of the court who are filed, we're unofficially expected potential werewolf. Rumor has it the wiggles his fingers like the boards put up only work on our kind. So such as that could get through. Thankfully,
I don't remember if we saw we only saw it work on a couple of Sabbat, right?
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I honestly, I expected to have a fair bit more trouble dealing with some of the wolves on the way out here from near Tahoe, but we haven't really run into a whole lot of problems with that. Is it really that big of an issue this close to the city? I mean, I know that they tend to stay kind of far away.
Along their preferences. Doing my best to sort of talk with those who still there. Nods with his up the slope of the city that goes up in the hills across the top of the ridge there.
Yeah.
But fine, piling it day after day. Rocks. So pushing up the hill and it's tip over. I know there's some in the city.
Why are they looking for rocks?
Because they're shiny.
Well, he says, do you mean, I don't know how much Russ remembers about being like a little kid human in a werewolf pack. I don't remember how much he actually remembers about that. Very little, so I guess he doesn't really have a whole lot of history there, but
Tasha would just be like, I can talk to my friend, but
not gonna help out here.
yeah, they're off in the spirit world.
How much are you thinking, Aaron?
Mostly, I'm thinking that at very least he because he stayed with the pack until he was 20. That's when he got drafted to go be on a ship and then sent off, and he got turned well after that. But he doesn't remember any of the rest of the time, so he might know. Like, he knows the song, he knew that song, so it might come to him little bits. And if there's like little bits of werewolf, specifically get a Fenris, so that's different. It could be a different tribe, so it may not track at all. But if there's any comparative like little ritual things or things that might just pop up, there's like, oh yeah, I think I know something about that. Nothing concrete though.
You might intuit that humans expand town of itself wouldn't upset the tribe typically. Definitely, it's currently happening. Undoubtedly upset.
Yeah.
Because you just saw a full fucking ship get crashed on this coastline and left. It'll be reclaimed by nature, so that's okay. But
Okay.
Crazy.
the fact that other organizations are using those as foundations fill in natural state place, that probably.
That's why there's all those wrecks around
Yeah.
here. I get it now.
I would say that is he asking about this, or is he just talking about it?
He's starting the conversation.
Yeah.
Filling it out. He's offering some information without about it.
Yeah. So kind of offhandedly, Russ is like, well, when I was a kid, a little youngin', I'd go with Father a few places, to try and establish new I don't remember the word for them anymore, but new towns basically. And there was always a thing that we'd have to do when we were establishing a new place to live. If we were moving the whole tribe, or if we were just having setting down a new place for other people to come in, we'd always have to do it real orderly. We'd say he'd get all the guys in the funny robes and with the antlers on their outfits, and they'd have to do some sayings, say some mumbo jumbo, and actually I don't know if that's a word that he would use right now. Anyway, I'm just not even sure when that came into common parlance. So they'd have to say some of the chants and draw a bunch of runes on the ground, and they'd make this I saw them trying to well, Daddy always described it to me as making a deal with the local ghosts or spirits or whatever it is, and we always had to go real slow. But they would never really stop us from building as long as we, were careful about stuff. Now, we didn't build like this. These were small towns, but we still have to put up the walls, and they'd have to, cut down some trees and, maybe bar up a cave or two. So, but we never really had any sort of issues like that. Now, that's just how we did things. And we never dealt with too many other people, or at least not while I was there. But maybe the speed, maybe we're just doing stuff too fast. I don't know. I try to go kind of slow when I do pretty much anything, really.
So Bird is taking this in.
A lot sometimes. That's weird.
When he cares about something, he'll find the words.
Bird is taking it in, and he's like, sounds a little more like dealing with folk. Worth looking in the gate.
Russ tenses at the mention of fair folk. Just not quite visibly, but like Tasha, because he's got his hand on her head. Tasha can feel his hand kind of tense just at the mention of fair folk.
But
Pippa's ears go.
You notice that Norton is kind of standing there, like. When you sort of pause, he's like, "Oh, you mean drops the Swedish word for traveler, settler?"
I don't know how close Swedish is to Norwegian, but I was what's
yes,
yeah.
It's
like the
romance languages. They're like
yeah.
Some of it.
So So Russ kind of pipes up, and he muddles his way through it, but he's like, "No, I think you mean," and he uses the Norwegian word for the same thing.
Yeah, settler explorer.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. Oh, before you were raced, and like birds, like that long ago that you parties.
From my understanding of, well, I know what year it is now. My history is fairly complicated, is a little complicated, but from everything I've figured out with regards to what I can remember and what I worked out with Pa and Hickory and Annie. I apologize. My adoptive family and my late wife. That it was somewhere around right around the turn of the millennium that I was living in Norway.
Both Bird's and Norton's eyes are saucers, and Norton's like looks over at Bird. He's like, and he like gets really quiet. He's like, I thought Thomas.
Wow, you're old.
Was this? Isn't that how that? And Bird's like, term like Thomas has claimed. Thomas is the ruler here, and not always exact chronological factor. And Norton's like, fascinating.
Russ just looks at Norton and he's like, I don't really get it much either. They keep saying stuff. I mean, I don't really feel that old because I don't remember a whole lot past about 50 years ago, but I do remember like what was going on. I do remember a little bit about what was happening when I was a kid, but and it's not, one of these. That's what it was about. I guess, and he looks around and says, he kind of leans into Bird specifically. He's like, did you got any knowledge of the other bit of my heritage that did anybody else figure that out too? I think I told Hickory once, but I don't know if he ever really brought it on board.
So I was actually kind of wondering about, because you sort of made it sound like you're admitting. So part werewolf?
Well, yeah, I was to be like, look, I'm part of a court now. Nobody really has ever asked about it, and I'd rather let it be known to someone who isn't gonna, go all half-cocked crazy like one of the wizards or something like that.
Right. And so you sort of intimated this to Bird, and Bird has sort of like done the nod a couple times. He's like,
yeah.
Oh. That has to
yeah, that's fine. I mean, you gotta understand, like, I wasn't like it was my brothers and all that got they used some other word for it, but I remember it as called the blessing or whatever. I was just a normal person. I was just big, but I don't want it to cause a whole lot of trouble if it comes out that, oh, this guy, he used to be one of these things or something like that way back when. So
I'll put that under my hat. That may help us out. We're not taking on any tasks tonight. Up at the White Horse.
Yes, sir, I am.
If anything, want to chat, hand with something, that's the gig. Well, I'm actually at house Jewish quarter. Put up a synagogue. It's very lovely.
Well, fair enough. I'll seek you out if I have any questions. Oh, I do have one thing I would like to ask. I haven't worried about it for the time that I've been awake because I had other things and the family and other things to buy my time. But
Norton sort of comes in. He's like, paper, and Bird looks over the port. And Norton's like, port.
Yes, that's Russ looks over and was like, yeah, that's what Hickory called it too. When you get the and then you sleep for a long time. Yeah, so I never really worried about it because I had my family and Pa and the farm and all that stuff. And well, now that Pa's dead and Annie's gone, and now I only got I got my friends here, but I don't really have a whole lot else. If you got any way of looking into my history, it would be kind of appreciated, I think. I figure if you're the same clan as me, then you might be able to find something else. And I don't really trust all the rest of he says this kind of quietly, it's like, honestly, all the rest of them here scare me because I think they're talking out one side of their mouth and the other side of their mouth is saying something entirely different. And then they have a third mouth somewhere else that's saying something else. So
Bird is nodding along. You mentioned finding something more out. You mentioned finding out more about yourself. He sort of like rocks back just a little, like, ooh, that's a challenge. You mentioned the 3 mouths. He's like, fair warning. That's how I end. Try to avoid it. Things more, frankly. I don't need more difficult. Not enough.
Yeah, I'm no good at it. So if I'm talking to you, I'm pretty much just saying what it is. So
That's where I start with everyone. Third mouth is when. Don't
somewhere Fred is sneezing just badly.
Yeah.
Right. From a second nose.
From a second note. But he said, so he just finished like, yeah, I never had a reason to look into it really before, but I guess now I kind of do. And so it'd be helpful to know who I am or what I was doing or why I was in that cave and, all that stuff.
Birds do like a mental inventory. Maybe we can have another chat a little later when you have a charge to take care of in there. See your. Sort of glances over as because you see the triad has formed. Ethan, Strauss, Bert are sort of conferring notes briefly as a shared satellite, a couple other. There's anyone blood that you trust, a path to take that.
Russ is just kind of like, I don't really know. He just said, yeah, he says pretty plainly, I really honestly, I don't really know what you're getting at, but I mean, I know I've seen the other folks here use some do some wild things. I myself can do a couple wild things, obviously, but I guess, do you mean someone can look at my blood and tell me stuff about myself?
Yeah. So I know for a fact. Here, sort of wiggles his finger, indicating between Russ and Bert. He's like, "Have that." guys talk on Eckerbert much?
No, not that I know of, but I personally, again, they kind of scare me.
There. Sure. All right. Well, then
The bird's always so happy.
we won't go down that road.
It's like the fact that the 7-foot-tall bear man says that the wizards scare him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of looks, and he goes. He sort of just like he flounders. He's like, you take good care of Bear Dad and Axe Dad, right there.
Okay.
All right. Pleasure, Russ.
Good to meet you too, Mr. Bird. Do I call you?
Oh, Hank's fine.
Pleasure meeting you, Hank. And he offers out a hearty handshake.
You get one back. Not as strong as would have liked, but he makes a decent showing.
Tasha just goes, bye. And is already like skipping away towards the gang.
Get a tip of the brim. Get a tap of the brim from Norton.
Oh yeah. He says, "Oh, it's good to meet you too, Mr. Norton. You seem like a decent feller. You should, if you come by the White Horse at some point or another, I'll buy you a drink. We can chat."
He goes, I do enjoy a free drink.
And all right. And he sees Tasha skipping off, and he's like, "Well, all right." And he runs off after Tasha.
Okay. So I pause it about there so that Alan has a chance to explore the boat before we leave this particular. Tasha apparently.
Apparently.
Abe and Mrs. Sterling, do you have any business? Port has it.
Well, Abe's first look would be at the skipping Malkavian, but once he sees that Russ is going after her, is like, okay, that's
Russ locks eyes with you and just like, no, you go off and have fun. I'll take the little one back home.
It's my shift tonight, honey.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. Yep. Shared parentage.
Shared custody.
Yeah, I think the only thing that Abe would approach Mrs. Sterling with is basically just addressing that look that we both caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abe would be like, did I read too much into this, or did you also catch that?
No, I believe you read that loud and clear, Mr. Murray. Would not say Abe.
Just, I don't know. It's a little puzzling. I wonder what's happening with that.
Well, I do know that when we had to place the items, artifacts, components, when we had to go on our journey, after the don't know. Anyway,
while you two are having this conversation, Everett sort of like, attached, but in a conversation with Shell, Soul, Boomer.
All right.
And there's apparently some Spanish translation happening. Sort of just enjoying language together. Small talk. While you two are like our own conversation.
We're probably gonna have to tone this down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't realize she was standing there. Tony, I wouldn't have had any of this conversation with Mr. Murray if I'd have known she was standing right next to me. My goodness.
Well, they're all loud and sort of chittering.
Right.
So you two can totally.
I suppose that Pippa pecks Everett on the cheek and says, "Pardon me one moment, darling," and then walks away.
Right.
With Abe to have this conversation. Would not do it right in front of Marisol. My goodness. I've already had one conversation faux pas today. I'm not about to have two.
Well, you're in no danger of going stock-eyed, so you're good.
Yeah, the fainting spells might return.
Yeah. You can't be having this shit. Anyway, so I do know that when we had to place each item of a force of will needed to be expelled in order to do so. I'm wondering if when all items were placed, it wasn't necessarily that they activated on their own, but there was a battery of some sort back home, and Mr. Bean might have been part of that battery. Because I do recall Mr. von Eckebert being excruciatingly fatigued when we arrived at his home. So I'm wondering if that was just part of it, and poor Mr. Bean just didn't quite clear.
That's, I mean, not that there's much you or I can do about this, but
Of
it's
course.
concerning. I'm also wondering if there's a cost to this whole thing activating. I mean, it did kill who we're supposed to kill, but who knows?
And I did have those reservations before we went on this journey, because how does it know who is of in case our friend Fred, he was a part of a clan that would be considered ill-wanted, but I don't believe that he himself believed that way. So how does it discriminate against who has a change of heart as opposed to who is just born in the wrong circle?
Yeah, it's that's a little bit above my capabilities, but in the realm of things that we can do, losing a child can be easy. So if we're thinking of anything we can do for these folks, just count me in.
Of course.
I'll support.
Yes, I do wish to offer condolences. The gathered look the look I gathered earlier from Marisol. She's my friend. I could say her name. The look that I gathered earlier from Marisol. She did convey to me that it was all right, but I truly don't believe that it is. And even though I have never had a little one of my own, although I had one in my hands for a moment.
Oh man, that hasn't come up in a while.
Yeah, she's trying really hard not to. I can only imagine that having an actual child ripped away from you that was your own is exponentially more painful. So yes.
Yeah, in that kind of a manner especially, I would assume.
Doesn't Ave have kids?
I don't think that's ever come up, but
okay.
Yeah.
But Lisa knows this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but we've never spoken about this yet, of course.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, Abe looks like a little wistful for a moment. Aww. But it's like, well, the goal was not to dredge up unpleasant thoughts in either of us. I apologize.
No, Mr. Murray.
I guess the in the doable, if you're hoping to present condolences, or you're better at these social graces than I ever will be. So if you think of anything, count me in. I'd be happy to help.
Of course. I will probably speak to Everett about it first, just to see what he might want to do, of course. But you will be the next in line.
Wise counsel.
And then she gives she might take his hand and give it like a sweet pat.
Right. Well, pleasure talking. I think I'll be on my way and go for a stroll.
Of course. Enjoy the night, Miss Murray.
You as well. And you get a bow and Abe sort of makes his way off the gangplank. There's a very solemn salute to his primogen on the way out.
Reginald gives a enthusiastic. It's ridiculous how different the two conduct themselves.
Yeah, he's so cheery. Abe, it actually makes Abe feel quite good. So he gets the salute and then gets a wave back after. Hang, right?
Pip would go back to Everett and just continue to be his accessory for the evening. She's not really looking to engage in much more tonight.
So Pip, before you get back to Everett, Abe has detached, watched him off. Doctor and the Sloot intercept you.
That's my favorite book, The Doctor.
Doctor and the Sloot intercept. Miss, I'm not even gonna. I'm looking at it, and I know I said it earlier, but I'm not even gonna try it. Mademoiselle and Dr. Stroshka. Good evening again.
Dr. Slutska.
Yeah, just mix it all together. Doctor and Miss Slutska.
Dr. Slutska. Yeah.
Oh, Sterling, so glad to get a moment of your time. I think perhaps you recall our conversations about your ability and my theory that a shared hallucination is viable. So he sort of pauses there to recalibrate.
Yeah, yes. Ugh.
Would you have ever broken a glass with your as a party trick?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Like, you recall how you were able to break that wine glass just for tone?
Of course.
Well, there is.
I've done it many times.
Because there's a term in physics that every atom has a vibratory frequency, and that if one can achieve it, they atoms of.
Oh, yay!
He's like,
of course. Click.
I wanted you, Millie, here to have this discussion as she possesses abilities, and I think if we're willing to engage in a bit of me, we can places further reinforcing that abilities can be communicated across clans, furthering my.
As always, Dr. Schloska, am I saying that correctly? Close enough. I would be delighted to indulge your theories.
The whole time, Millie has actually been a bit more. She's been subdued, quiet, and a bit more pleasant through that. Like she nodded with a bit of modesty, referenced her abilities, and she seemed in this that have someone else to play with.
Oh, no, I'm not going to, but like, yes, of course. She agrees gracefully. I would be honored to share some of our abilities together.
And Toshka sort of like grins and looks off into the distance. He goes, "With Mr. Sterling's blessing, of course."
Of course.
And at that, you get a smirk from Millie, as there's a opinion there. Shut. And
as I am fortunate enough to continue on in my life with my darling husband, I absolutely love to share absolutely everything with him.
Yep. And the hand goes back the other way.
Yes. He's very taken with the idea.
As she reinforces the mademoiselle, not married, madam.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Right. That doctor offers to accompany you back to and I think there then that line sort of established if Miss Allen wants time, good to go for it. Cool.
Do we level?